Support for today's show comes from Career Fitter. Career Fitter is a site where they give you a 60-question test. Takes about 10 minutes. And out of that, they're going to give you recommendations basically for your ideal business environment, a team building approach, career matches, work strengths, income potential based upon job matching, preferred communications methods, weaknesses that you may have, a whole host of things. They'll give you a free report. They have a premium report as well. Quality service recommended by Forbes, Psychology Today, and quite a few others. So use the link in the show notes. It will help you start to figure out some of the things you might consider with a new career. And if you hire me to coach you, I'll give you a little bit of a discount and reimburse you for some of the cost of the premium report, because it'll help us both with coaching. And now, let's get going. Episode 2105 of the #1 podcast on Apple Podcasts for Job Search. You are listening to No BS Job Search Advice Radio. I'm your host, Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome. I'm called the Big Game Hunter. Well, I started off being called that when I still did recruiting. Did that for what felt like 100 years, but maybe that's just recruiter years. In fact, I did it for about 42, 43 years. Yeah, long time. And when I converted to coaching, the name still stayed with me. So I'm still calling myself the Big Game Hunter. And thank you for tuning into the show. Today is one that I originally did for Periscope a few years ago about late arrivals and why it's important to own up to your lateness. Hope you find this helpful and hope you try and give it an honest review wherever you listen to the show, because it does help other people discover it. Also want to mention, we have a couple of firms that every day support our show. And if the product seems like it's appropriate for you, I'd appreciate if you use the link in the show notes, because it does let them know that we were instrumental in bringing you to them. And that means that they want to support the show more. So with that, we'll be back in just one moment. Today's show is brought to you by Skillshare.com. At Skillshare.com, they have thousands of classes available, not just simply about business or job hunting, but lots of different classes on a host of different subjects. Almost anything you can think of, and they have one low price associated with your learning. They have classes about particular technologies you can learn, pottery, public speaking. I have a half dozen of my classes about job hunting there. Writing, photography, film, almost anything you can think of, they have Skillshare classes available. Now, if you use my link, thebiggameHunter.us/Skillshare, they'll offer a free trial and 30% off if you decide to join. There's a lot to learn, and Skillshare is a place where you can learn it. Now, let's get back to today's show. Late arrivals happen. Let's not kid ourselves. They happen all the time. The issue isn't whether you arrive late, although the preference is that you get there on time. The issue is how you deal with the late arrival. You see, some people try to slime their way through the situation, ignoring that they're late. And it's a mistake to do that. Why? Because you kept people waiting. They've got other things to do. They have two choices. They can abridge their interview and bring you back, which means that they're wasting more time than they could have, or they can, they can abridge the interview. But no matter how you look at it, they're resentful at the time that you start. So I want to just encourage you very simply to handle yourself a little bit differently, and pause. And when the person comes out and greets you, just very simply say, "Hi, I'm so sorry that I'm late. It isn't that I didn't try to get here on time. I did. But traffic in Austin was brutal. There was an accident that tied things up. I left with 30 minutes to spare and should have been here on time, but fill in the blank, it occurred. The subways had a delay.
And, I tried getting here, to have some time to spare beforehand, but I just want you to know that I apologize for being late. This is not my normal behavior. Really, really simple. And hello to, I'm sorry, I can't quite read it because it's just coming across as a little light in the font, but someone just said hello to me on Periscope. I'll just simply say that acknowledge the lateness, and then let them say, that's okay, I appreciate you explaining it. Because not explaining it causes them to pause and go, where is this person going to try and slide through other stuff? What's going to happen that's going to make them get slippery in a situation and leave us concerned about them? So always be honest about this kind of stuff and don't blow smoke.
So that's today's show. I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, I've got a lot that's in the show notes that will help you. Go there, take a look at some of the things I highlight. I know it can help you with your search. But I want you to do one thing for me, and that is put in your phone thebiggamehunter.us, Jeff Altman, my name. And when you need help, when you need advice, when you have a question, come over to the website, go exploring in the blog, contact me for coaching or because you have a question. I'd love to help you. In the meantime, I hope you have a terrific day, and most importantly, be great! Hi, this is Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome to the original No BS Job Search Advice Radio. I started recording this show, it was November of 2010. I believe it was November 21st, 2010. And I originally did it on another platform before moving it to Anchor in October of 2020. And when I did so, frankly, the other service gave me a rough time moving out. So what you have on No BS Job Search Advice Radio is a little bit different than what's here. These are the original shows that I did. Probably about 1,500 of them here. And then if you subscribe to No BS Job Search Advice Radio, not the original, but No BS Job Search Advice Radio, you get all my newer content. And if you want to go back further than October, I believe you can do that on that page on Anchor and go back a few hundred episodes. So probably about 500 episodes are listed on Anchor.fm. And not all of them will be available through Spotify or Apple Podcasts or other services just because of how they handle feeds. So again, come over to Anchor.fm, listen to my shows there, subscribe. There's lots of great information I release beginning in 2021, 5 days a week, designed to help you find work more quickly. So that's today's show. I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, here are a few more ways to get information and advice from me. First of all, visit my website, which is thebiggamehunter.us. Go to the blog. There's a lot there to help you. In addition, if you need interview advice, I've created a course called the Ultimate Job Interview Framework, available as a video on udemy.com. That's udemy.com, or available as a paperback or for Kindle on Amazon, and will help you stand out in a great way on your interviews. Also, if you're interested in my coaching you, there's a button on the site that says schedule. Schedule time for a free discovery call or schedule yourself in for coaching. I will love to help you. I'm able to help with regard to interview preparation, leadership coaching, salary negotiation advice, making a good decision between different offers, anything related to improving yourself in the workplace. If you have questions for me, you can schedule 15 minutes with me at thebiggamehunter.us/live, or an even less expensive way is at thebiggamehunter.us/video answers, where you can leave a message for me and I'll respond with a 3 to 5 minute video. Please financially support the podcast by clicking the button below and pledging whatever you'd like. I really appreciate it. Finally, watch me on TV. Download the Job Search TV app for Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Roku, or BingeNetworks.tv for Apple TV and 90-plus smart TV platforms. I'll be back tomorrow with more. In the meantime, I hope you have a great day. Be great!